And it doesn't surprise
All right.
me.
Sorry for the connection issues. The Wi-Fi has been wacky today. So I hope you can get back in. Let me put this one on Twitter.
Eli, your people were very difficult, just so you know. Yes, thank you. Well, we're honored to have Will on the Manning Cast tonight. Obviously,
but I just want to real quick talk about some of my favorite underrated moments. I mean, well, maybe not underrated, but just favorite moments overall this year so far. What's up, Hudson? I don't know what the Wi-Fi was doing there, but it's being annoying. So just real quick, I think there's a lot, obviously, but I'm gonna go top 5 regular season moments. Well, number 5.
Pete's a rah-rah guy. He builds you up. He puts you in a position. And he's like, you got it.
I'm gonna say number 5, Sean Murphy's walk-off homer against the Reds, because I think that was just a moment of here we are, and that's why we got Sean Murphy. I know the second half wasn't great for him overall, but number 5, that one. Number 4.
When you were kind of making your choice. Yeah.
Number 4, Orlando's 3-run homer against the Dodgers in extra innings. That was huge to get 3 out of 4 in that series in LA, because it's been a house of horrors for us. Number 3, poor Larry Crown, and I can't believe that one's number 3, Ozzy's walk-off. Ozzy is the walk-off king. He's had our last 3 walk-offs, so I'm going to say that one's number 3. Number 2, number 2, Ronald's 40-70. And I'll put this in like a full thing, because his reaction when he hit 40 in Washington, and his reaction of his hometown in Venezuela, that gave me goosebumps. And then the 40-70 doing it in extra innings, and Ozzy walking him off because they're such great friends. And then it's great. And then number 1, this was kind of a tie for me. Ronald's grand slam in LA to get 30-60. And then Eddie Rosario's grand slam in Arizona, because I think that was the tip-off point of us just rocketing. And my favorite storylines, just following in no particular order, Orlando Arcia taking over for Dansby Swanson and us not even blinking an eye. All-star appearance. Marcell Ozuna's return to all-star level hitting. Matt Olson setting the home run record and the RBI record. But that was fun. Spencer Strider being amazing. Overcoming all of the pitching injuries, all of that stuff. is something magical. Money Mike doing what he has done. Forrest Wall's solo homer. I don't know, because I just feel like Forrest Wall, he hasn't done a lot statistically, but his stolen base, his threat of the stolen base, the idea of him being the Terrence Gore of the postseason, he just has the feeling of something happening for positive for us in the postseason. Kevin Pillar has that feeling as well. And we'll see if Eddie Rosario turns into Babe Ruth again in the postseason. And another thing I thought of was Kirby Yates kind of turning into the 2021 Will Smith, in that he is just completely locked down. That would be amazing. Those are just some spitbally things that just how insanely great this season was and hopefully is going to be. I think Kyle Wright may get a couple of wins. I don't know if, and he might actually get us. I'm going to say he's going to get 2 starts.
I didn't get the call in.
AJ Smith-Shawver. I think I saw somebody predict Darius Vines may get a start somewhere, which that's crazy. But who knows on that one. But so much fun. And I can't wait to see the postseason. And I know the connection went out on the last one, but I did a little bit prediction. I'm going to say Toronto in 2 over the Twins, Tampa in 3 over Texas, Brewers in 3 over the Diamondbacks, despite the Woodruff injury. And I'm going to say Phillies in 3 over Miami, but the Fish are feisty. So I have absolutely zero clue. But it's been really such an amazing season. So many moments that will be etched in our minds forever. And I'm glad to have covered them all. And I can't wait to cover this, hopefully, magical ride that the postseason is. But we all know that it is very much a crapshoot. So who knows what's going to happen? Strap in. It's going to be fun. But I can guarantee you we're going to see something this postseason.
In the corner.
And that we're not expecting. I'm hoping that the pitch clock does not affect the postseason in terms of violations and such. We may see pitch comm issues to kind of calm down the situation, because we haven't seen the pitch clock in postseason yet. So when a inning kind of starts spiraling, I'm wondering how people are going to handle that, and that's why I also think that Sean Murphy and Travis d'Arnaud are going to be pivotal, and Rick Kranich as well, because he seems to have the magical touch. The magical touch when he goes to the mound most of the time to flip our pitchers' mindset, and just able to calm down an inning. So I think that's going to be vitally important as well. Texas's bullpen probably scares me the most, other than the Phillies, because they haven't been good. Texas hasn't really been good in a lot of spurts this year, so they're probably the most vulnerable in that regard. Yes, happy birthday to Kyle Wright. And I feel like Bryce Elder is gonna have a big role. Even though it's a little scary. But again, everybody scary pitching. Who knows who's gonna be the unexpected hero? Who knows? Joe Jimenez kind of has those vibes too. It's a lot of. But the great thing about the Braves is we can beat you in so many different ways, and I hope our first inning magic carries over, because I think if it does, yeah, Tonkin. I discussed it in the first live, but Tonkin is definitely on the bubble for me. Because he's just not had a great second half, 5 ERA, and just really battling, as you said, to really find the consistency that made him so good in the first half. So I think there's a lot undetermined, and I don't know how well the record, the workouts. I will have those covered on my channel as well, from the sound bites and things you get on Twitter about them, because I don't think they are going to be televised or anything of that nature, but I'll do my best to get the most important sound bites with Max Fried scheduled to come off with the finger blister thing, so that'll be important to watch. And I think there's a lot of things up in the air, especially the long man. I thought the Jackson Stevens could have been a long man, but we placed him on the IL with shoulder inflammation to call up Dodd yesterday. So I guess he's not a factor. It's going to be interesting. Will Nick Anderson make an appearance? I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a lot more up in the air on the pitching side, but there's a lot of options, and we've exercised a lot of options throughout the season, so it's nothing new. The big key for Strider is going to be avoiding that dumb big inning, because a lot of times in the postseason, a 2 or 3 run inning in the postseason is just sometimes something you can't recover from, because of the way the pitchers are usually locked in. So we'll see how that factors in, and how the offense is able to kind of hopefully quickly get into a rhythm after this break. And I think that's why we are doing the workouts, to keep that intensity. And I like this. Just keep trying different things, so you can not get stagnant and have to ramp back up so quickly, and especially playing a team that has already been in the battle of the wild card. So I like being creative the way that we are trying to be, and we'll see if it works out. And Waldrop, I thought was going to be a dark horse maybe for a postseason, but they shut him down with the amount of innings he threw. And yes, I'm kind of surprised, but I'm also not surprised given the Braves' quickness or jetpack like use of the prospects, and not really caring about service time or any of that. If they can help the ball club win games, they're gonna do it. That's why AJ Smith-Shawver feels like a dark horse type for me. Just kind of that kind of thing. So it'll be interesting and to see if there's a surprise 2 or 3 on the roster. Obviously, position player wise, I don't think there's going to be any surprises whatsoever, which is a good thing. It's a great thing. I do wonder if we're going to do the Eddie Rosario, Kevin Pillar defense or replacement thing. I don't know, because Eddie's been playing solid defense. He just had that little gaffe in the Chicago White Sox series. Other than that, he's been pretty darn consistent. Maybe like 10 plays total that that kind of thing. So no, Nicky Lopez is our backup shortstop, Joseph, I think. I mean, we could see Vaughn Grisham. I think I like Vaughn Grisham better than Luke Williams as an extra pinch runner type, but I'm not sure given the pitching the way it is. Excuse me. That'll be interesting to follow, and obviously a thing to follow because he's had such a good AAA season. So we'll see. So we'll see there. I think he has better speed.
You guys want to see an early headshot of mine?
Well, you can follow it on Gamecast and get my recap after the game. So you'll be all right, Joseph. But it depends on the time too. Whenever the start times and stuff haven't been released or anything, so you got a chance. But I think I covered everything that I wanted to. In 2 lives, I know. Sorry for the connection issue. But just about an hour talking about the season and how the playoffs and all that stuff. Well, I think we have this year is probably the best chance of any to get a night playoff game with no Boston, no New York, only the Dodgers, no Mets. I would think so. I just hope we don't have day games. I hope we don't have to play on Sunday because for some reason that is our weakest day of the year. Mainly because we won 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, and it's really hard to sweep teams. But we've struggled the most on Sundays, so hopefully we don't have too many Sunday playoff games, day or night. That is my only wish and hope, that we don't, and that we play our game. And God, I hope the pitching holds up and our offense. This might be one of the years where an offense like ours could beat the best pitching because we have a lot this year, and a lot of the times the storyline is that we don't. Let's see. Great pitching beats great hitting, and I think this is one year it could flip. Obviously, you're gonna have great pitching as well, because you don't want to get into too deep of holes. But our offense is so our offense is so powerful, and incredible on so many levels that it could, at least for a couple of games here or there, it could be the factor that you see that could flip a series, because we've seen it time and time again this year, and I think that could be a different way to go playoff games. I think it's going to be relatively similar to what we see typically in the playoffs, but that is something to watch. Can our historic offense debunk the trend of great pitching always beats great hitting? And I think it's very, very possible that we can. So, but yeah, night playoff games, I am all for. Strider's going game 1, I would assume. Just a guess. Strider's going game 1, Free game 2, and with the off days, we could do a game 3 bullpen. I guess it depends on where the series is and how we get there, to be honest. I don't like the bullpen games either, but with the off days in the built in the NLDS, it's very, 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 very possible that we can. I agree. I don't want that, but also, I mean, and I think I didn't address this. The only other thing that really scares me is having Brad Hand as this as the second lefty. It just feels, it doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Maybe he'll turn into the Will Smith this year with Kirby Yates. I don't know, but that's the one thing that scares me, because we have used Minter as a starter before. We did it in 2020 big time, so he's done it before. So that's the only other thing that really scares me. But we will see. Again, I will cover the workouts and any other news that comes out to make sure we're all on the same page, and then I'll do quick recaps of the playoff games on. Yeah, the hype video is really good. Michael Kelly was being awesome. Narrating that is electric and so awesome, and kind of fits. Kind of fits the mold of the electricity this year. So yeah, I wanted to run through a wall as well. Just so awesome in so many different ways. Really amazing. But yeah, I so happy to kind of get a precursor to the playoffs, but not have to stress about it. Even though I am so happy about playoff sports and playoff, your team being in the playoffs is one of the more stressful things that there is. I'm very happy to have something else to watch with the Hornets. I think there's a lot of optimism, and I'm interested to see if we get off to a good start and LaMelo can keep his ankles healthy, and how Brandon Miller fits in, and
from the French kid, Thibodeau.
So yeah, really hyped for that, and yeah, well, I'm very interested to see how we integrate Miles after his suspension. Really excited for the Hurricanes as well. So there's a lot of optimism. Postseason Braves, always fun and very stressful, but amazing. I'm not even going to touch the Panthers because that's not what this is about. But I'm going to say right now that Sean Murphy is going to have a breakout postseason, and we're all going to forget about this gross second half for him. Numbers wise, but he still contributed, so it's not as bad to me as it seemed, I guess. But that's my big prediction. But as always, go Braves, champions forever. Thanks for hanging. Sorry about the connection issue. Head and watch both of them. I think I covered all of it. But peace out, guys, and enjoy the postseason baseball tomorrow.